uses soft tactics to overcome the hard and stillness to overcome motion, and in so doing, it enables the weak to overcome the strong. However, some people believe that this school of Kung Fu is too soft and insubstantial for use in real combat situations. However, Neijia is the parent style of no less than 3 important schools of Kung Fu: Taiji, known throughout the world, Xingyi, meaning form and will, and 8 Trigram Pa. In the later years of the Qing dynasty and early years of the Republic, these 3 schools came to be recognized as having reached the highest level in Chinese Kung Fu. Each of the 3 had its own legendary masters, about whom there were many fascinating stories. Among the 3, Taiji is regarded as the most representative of the parent style Neijia. Today people are still divided about exactly when Taiji first appeared, but no matter when it was, today millions of people around the world practice it. Among all the theories put forward about its origins, one thing is beyond dispute. The birth of Taiji was related to a famous boxer named Yang Luchan, who was said to have learned the technique by stealing it from someone else. Yang was born into a very poor family in present-day Hebei province, and from a very early age he began to practice Kung Fu. By the time he was an adult, he was very good at Hung-style boxing. But it was an event that took place in front of a pharmacy that was to shape the course of his life. Using only what was described as a very slight move of a finger, the owner of the pharmacy threw a big strong troublemaker to the ground and forced him to beat a fast retreat. Yang was impressed, and he soon learnt that the owner was from a village called Chenjiagou in Henan province. He also learnt that this Kung Fu was called soft boxing, or what we call today Taiji. Astonished by what he had witnessed, Yang Luchan decided to make his way to Chenjiagou to learn this incredible style of Kung Fu. The village of Chenjiagou in today's Wenxian County in Henan province has been a cradle of numerous Kung Fu masters. Even today, most of the residents of the village, some of them young and others older than 70, can do Kung Fu very well. In the village, Yang Luchan located its most famous boxer, a man named Chen Changxing. Chen Changxing was tall and strong and possessed Kung Fu skills that seemed unfathomable. When he attended a theatre performance or went to a temple fair, he wouldn't budge an inch, even when a huge crowd was pressing him from behind. Not surprisingly, people called him Mr. Rock. But where did this Chen Changxing learn Taiji? People are divided on this point as well. Some feel it likely that Taiji was not native to the village, while others think it probable that Chen inherited it from his ancestors. But whatever the case, all agree that Chen is the earliest recorded practitioner of Taiji, and it has been impossible to trace its history to anyone before him.
Well, today we can still see the yard where Yang Luchan learned Taiji. At first, Chen Changxing refused to teach him, and it is because of this that the story about Yang stealing Taiji arose. The truth, however, is rather different.
All Kung Fu masters were very picky when it came to choosing students, as, following the teachings that went with all schools of Kung Fu, only the virtuous, smart and quick-minded could qualify. Yang came twice to Chen Changxing and twice he was refused. But undeterred, he asked Chen a third time, and this time Chen decided to determine whether Yang was a suitable candidate. He asked young Lu Jan to come to a quiet room for a talk, and Yang showed up punctually, only to see Chen seated comfortably in a chair, eyes closed, at rest. Yang didn't disturb him, but stood to one side with all respect. After a long while, Chen opened his eyes and then simply said to Yang, "It's too late. Come tomorrow at the same time." The next day and the day after, the same thing happened. In fact, several days passed like this. But Yang did not become frustrated. Eventually, Chen was moved by the young man's determination, and he decided to teach him all he knew. 3 years later, the teacher said to Yang, "You may leave, because you have no match in this place."
我们一般的大家认同的是，杨露禅曾经3下陈家沟，就是他去一次可能学了一段时间，可能中间又回来了，完后再去。这个说明什么呢？内家拳，具体说太极拳，它的修炼是很不容易的。即便你是很聪明的人，即便你是很用功夫，它真的需要相当的悟性，还有老师给你喂劲儿，你才懂劲儿。懂劲儿后愈练愈精。啊，你得懂劲儿，这是第一关。所以这个内家拳的修炼呢，很不容易。他那个神奇，让人家看起来好像没劲儿打人，好像手很慢能打人，他不容易啊，练到那个境界。所以啊，修道者多如牛毛，得道者少如凤角。
The great fame young Lu Jan eventually enjoyed was closely related to his experiences after he mastered the skill. He returned to his hometown in Guangping County, and there he met with many Kung Fu practitioners and beat all of them. In no time at all, his name was known throughout the area. Then one day, someone from Peking came to Yang's hometown in search of a tutor, and Yang was recommended. At first, there didn't seem to be anything particularly unusual about the rather thin and short Yang, but the man from Peking decided to employ Yang, and he ended up teaching the children of the Zhang family how to read and write. The Zhang family owned a famous shop in Peking that sold pickles, and its owner, known as Fat Zhang, even supplied one of the royal princes with his product and maintained a close relationship with the prince's family. With the power of the family of a prince backing him up, Fat Zhang was regarded in the city as untouchable.
Yang Luchan 到了张家以后啊，张家这个老板啊，就是这个东家也没有看得起他，对他很慢待。杨露禅呢，曾经就是在这个饭桌上呢，于是亮了他的本事，最后征服了这些人，最后才扎下根来。这些东西呢，有很多传说、轶事和演绎，我们也无法一一的去考证。但有一个东西是，杨露禅被近代武术史称为杨无敌，号称杨无敌，一生与人交手无数，据说无有败绩。
After the legendary incident at the dinner table, Yang began not only to teach the children of the Zhang family reading and writing, he also began teaching various members of the family Kung Fu. As it happened, the butler of Prince Duan was a great, almost fanatical lover of Kung Fu, and at the recommendation of Fat Zhang, Yang was employed by the prince as a Kung Fu coach. Being employed by a prince of the empire naturally helped to spread Yang's name far and wide. Before long, even Kung Fu masters were paying him visits. With his legendary Tai Chi Kung Fu, Yang won the name Invincible.
其实这个武术啊，在这个旧社会啊，武林的仿拳呢，它应该包含着很多这个意思。一个意思呢是要交流，叫事迹； 就是我在门内，因为知道学拳的人先是在门内学，跟师傅学，跟师叔学，跟师兄弟交流，然后他到外边去访拳呢，他有试技的意思，试试自己的东西练到了什么样的程度，这有这一层意思。还有一个，他要想以此来这个谋生吃饭，他要扬名，他要在试技的过程当中较量，是吧？赢了别人，然后他才能够扬名，是吧？这个当然还有一个最本质的原因就是交流。人经30，武艺高，人必须有见识。武术这个东西是要切身体会实战的，它不是纸上谈兵，所以他在外边这种访拳本身的过程，也是多闻、多看、多体会的一个过程。
Among all the stories about Yang Luqian, the following is the most famous. One day, while resting, Yang Luqian was expecting a visit from a monk who was coming to compare notes. The visitor was very tall and very strong and quite impressive looking. When he arrived, Yang Luqian came out of the house to greet him. The monk greeted Yang with all courtesy, and then Yang invited him in to his living room for a chat. All of a sudden, however, the monk launched a blow aimed at Yang Luqian's chest. Yang contracted his chest a little, used his right arm to fend off the blow, and with a gentle push, the monk was sent flying. He dropped to the ground, as if downed by a heavy blow. It was quite some time before the monk regained his breath, and when he did, he readily admitted his defeat and said he was very curious about the type of kung fu Yang had just applied.
The great fame Yang Luqian eventually enjoyed was closely associated with his experiences after mastering Taiji. His special position in the Imperial Army naturally helped to spread Yang's name far and wide. Before long, other Kung Fu masters were seeking him out. Some would challenge him, and using his legendary Taiji Kung Fu, Yang beat them all. Thus, he became known as Yang the Invincible. In our next program, we'll hear more stories about Chinese Kung Fu, so please tune in again. And thank you for staying with us on today's New Frontiers. I'm Ji Xiaojun from CCTV International. Goodbye.